Hi everyone, I'm FMGreeno. Welcome along to episode 21 of the Greeno Tour. This is my FM21 journeyman adventure throughout Europe. We're at Budapest Honved and we've reached the end of the season. We have a livecom double header for you today, our final league game of that season, plus the Hungarian Cup final. And it's going to be an opportunity to see whether the team that we took over midway through the season, who were sat in the relegation zone, have we turned them around and qualified for European football next season. Well, the answer to that question about European football is yes, we have. As you can see from the league table here, we are currently sat in second place with just this one last game to go. And we are 6 points away from 5th placed Ferencváros. We are qualified for the European Conference League. Of course, when we took over the club, 13 games into the season, they only had 13 points and were sat in 11th place. So in the last 19 league games, we've picked up 43 points, which is pretty phenomenal. So, if we'd been here all season, we'd have easily walked the league with that kind of record. Let's go and see how we've done recently. So, last time we were together was the Puskás Academia game where we went up there and won 1-0, which was a result that really put our season on track for success. We then played Stirling at home, worst team in the league. They've been relegated by some distance, and we could only beat them 1-0. But 3 points in the bag, pretty happy with that. But we followed that up with probably the best result since we've been here. We went to Ferencváros and won 5-0. They did have a guy sent off after 57 minutes. And in fairness, 4 of our goals did come after that. But we were already a goal up and we absolutely battered them from that point onwards. So today we have our last game of the season, which is at home to Debrecen, who are sat down in 6th place now, before we take on Fehérvár in the cup final. Let's go and see how we're set up for that Debrecen game. Actually, before we take a look at that lineup, I wanted to bring you in here and look at some of the youth players that we've got kicking around the club. 2 in particular, I think, are really, really promising. Now, whether we're going to be here long enough, being a journeyman, to see these guys develop into first-team players, I don't know. But these 2 kids here, they are Bátor Pál and László Hanyec, came through this year's youth intake. If we take a look at them, he's 15 years of age, this guy. Look at the improvement he's already putting in. He's only been here a few weeks, and he's an inverted winger on the left-hand side, which is something I like to play with. And already, as a 15-year-old, some of the attributes he's got here, lots of work to do on his technicals for sure, but a lot of his mentals are good, a lot of his physicals are good, and he's only 15 years old. Similar with old László here. And again, look at this improvement since he's been at the club. Just a few weeks. Amazing. As a central defender, he's already got a lot of decent attributes that you want to see. Jumping reach here is 15. His heading needs a bit of work, but his tackling is great. Decent mentals, half decent technicals. I think his physicals are going to be brilliant as he grows. He's at 1m86 already as a 15-year-old, which is pretty much a giant. But look at all these guys with the potential they have. There are 1 or 2 that I think next season might be challenging for a first-team place. Andriy Ponomarenko. Sorry about that, Andriy. I think he's got potential to be in and around the first team squad next season. Again, look at these physicals here for a 17-year-old. His mentals, I think, are pretty good. He's very, very determined. I think he's got some decent attributes here that are going to suit the sort of position. I mean, ideally, we want to think about now he's sort of built this up a little bit, maybe training him to come out onto this side and play as an inverted winger, as we like people to. So whether that will hamper his progress a little bit, I don't know. But we'll do that over the summer and see how he gets on. I think there's some really, really promising young talent at this club. So going into this last game with Debrecen, I am a little bit mindful that the cup final comes just the midweek after this game. So there's not going to be much recovery time for our guys. With that in mind, I have made 3 changes to the starting lineup. So we've got Alishi comes in at left back for Chanyi. Maya is going to play out on the left wing. We've brought him in for Ugrai. And Makovsky, our holding midfielder, has dropped out, and Lagator, who's a more than capable replacement, comes in for him. But we are going to be keeping an eye on the condition, particularly of people like Epel, Radetzky, Gazdag, who are going to be very, very important for us in that game in midweek. So, anyway, let's get into the game, see how we get on. So, not a packed stadium for our last home game, which is a bit of a shame considering how well we've done. Hopefully we'll be filling the stands a little bit more next season. Opportunity for us here with Gazdag. Free kick early on, and he has scored. A great free kick. Nice little angle for him there on the left-hand side of the box. Just outside the box. He's done very, very well to get that up and down over the wall. And that's a 1-0 lead with just 3 minutes on the clock. Really happy with that. It would be nice if we could end the season on a high. It doesn't really mean a great deal to our league position. We're already qualified. We can't catch Fehervar, who've won the league. Oh, look. Gazdag. He's injured. That is not good, bearing in mind the game we have coming up. So Makovsky has to come on. He's the guy I was trying to give a rest to. That's a disappointment. There we are. Such is life. That is what happens in football sometimes. We're 20 minutes in. It's not a game of great incident apart from that goal and the injury. We are by far having the best of it though. Look at the possession stats. We've had 65%. 4 shots with 3 on target. They're yet to register a shot of any kind. We are very, very comfortable in this game. And this is really giving me confidence for how we're going to look next season. I think with our league position, and particularly if we can get a cup win under our belt, having qualified for Europe, that's going to give our reputation a boost. And my reputation a boost, to be honest. Which is always handy in a journeyman save. And so I think next season we should be able to attract some decent players in to actually boost this squad. There's a few guys I'd like to move on. We'll have a look at that over the summer for sure. But I think, you know, if we had a decent reputation team who can bring in some good quality players for a European campaign, that's going to bode very well for the future. So, we're going to tell them things are going well. That'll do. Out for the second half. We're keeping an eye on the condition. Like I said, no one seems to be struggling too much at the moment. First 5 minutes of the second half passed pretty much without any incident whatsoever. Not a single shot registered by either side in the second half so far. This is quite dull, isn't it? Looks like both the teams think they're already on holiday, but of course we can't think like that. We have a big, big game ahead of us midweek. So with that in mind, we are going to give Epel a rest for sure. I don't want him to get injured. We can bring on Tot Gabor for him and change him to a poacher. And who else can we look at giving a rest to? Do we want to do that now? Maybe we'll leave it another 10 minutes. Bearing in mind we've already had to use a substitution for Gazdag earlier in the game. But this seems like it's going to pretty much just play out fairly calmly. 15 minutes to go now. We'll wait until we get to about the 80th minute, I think, before making a change. Oh, they've actually registered a shot now, so that's interesting. Now, Babati over on the right-hand side, who is a definite starter in the final, he's definitely got to come out now. So we're going to put, yeah, we'll put Bano Sabo over that side. That's fine. And into the last 10 minutes. Very disappointing performance here from Debrecen for sure. They'll obviously feel they couldn't qualify for European football this season, so have taken their foot off the gas somewhat. They do have an opportunity here to come forwards with pretty much the 90 minutes up. Good challenge there by Lagator. Pogliano wins it at the back, as he has been doing an awful lot since he came in the transfer window. Not a great ball forwards though. Who's going to win this? We do. Radetsky here. Finds Mayer. He's cutting in field. Back to Lagator, but had a bit of a risky sliding tackle there to retain possession. Here's Tot Gabor. Is he going to finish it? No, he isn't. Hult Wagner, who those of you who've been watching my Hungary save will know in about 4 years' time has just become my first choice goalkeeper. Makes a good save. There's an opportunity here for Debrecen, though. They are making their way forward. Good challenge by Mizgrani. Body heads it wide. Okay, and hopefully that's going to be the end of it now. No, we actually have a kick-off highlight from that goal kick. So, is this going to be an end-of-game highlight? It looks like he's going to boot the ball long. That's pretty good because it's wasted a few more seconds. Bano Sabo just lets the ball run into touch. 30 seconds of the 3 minutes of added time left. Hopefully we can just get another challenge in here. Boot the ball forward or boot the ball out or something. Get rid. There we go. Get the ball up the park. And there it is. It's full time. So we finish the season with a very convincing 1-0 win. Unfortunately, that injury to Gazdag is going to keep him out of the Hungarian Cup final. He's out for about 4 weeks now. But central midfield is one of the strongest areas we have in the squad, so I think we'll be able to cover him fairly comfortably. So we can now see the final table. As you can see here, Fehérvár won the league by 4 points only. We finished in second on 59 points. Kisvárda 3 points behind us. Mezőkövesd a further 3 points back, which means that some pretty big clubs like Ferencváros, Debrecen, Újpest, Puskás, none of them qualified for Europe this year. Pretty interesting stuff, that, I think. Teams to go down are my beloved Győrmot. They're the team I follow in Hungary, along with Sörökshár, who were the whipping boys of the division this year. It's been useful for the finances. We got about 400 grand for finishing second in the league. So our overall balance now is just shy of £3 million. Transfer budget here. We haven't had the official budgets come through for next season, because of course we've got the cup final to go. So we'll see what how the adjustments are made there. But it's looking like we're pretty well set up for the summer. Before we get into the cup final, it looks like the Hungarian League have decided to give out some awards. As you can see, the keeper that we brought in over the winter, Balázs Ásványi, has won the Hungarian Division 1 Goalkeeper of the Year, which is a brilliant, brilliant thing considering he was only at the club for half a season. But, strangely, he doesn't make the Team of the Year. So I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But we do have 2 players in it. Boton Barat has played very, very well at centre-half, and he makes his way in, along with Ugrai on the left-hand side, so that's nice. Top goal scorer, Epel came 3rd, not bad. The Young Player of the Year, unfortunately, didn't go to Adam Chanyi. I thought it might do, but he was just pipped by a guy from Debrecen, so that's a shame. But the big news, there it is. Greeno wins the Hungarian Division 1 Manager of the Year. Pretty happy with that. One other thing I wanted to do before we get into the cup final is take a look at how Stirling Albion got on in my absence. And in fairness, it looks like they did all right. So if we take a look at the Scottish Championship, in the league table, they continued a good form and finished 4th above Dundee, which is pretty spectacular when you consider we were the only semi-pro team in the league. We made it into the promotion playoffs, it looks like, where unfortunately Partick Thistle pipped Stirling for the place in that. But that's a really successful season for them. I wonder if they'll go professional over the summer. I wouldn't be at all surprised, but yeah, well done Stirling. And so here we are ready, picking the team for the cup final. It's been an interesting week in Hungarian football since the end of the season. Bit of a managerial merry-go-round going on. Ferencváros, Diósgyőr and Puskás Academia from the top flight all firing their coaches this week. So there's going to be a bit of movement around there for sure. Our team. So we already mentioned Gazdag is out injured. That means that Lagator is going to come in and play the halfback role. And we've pushed Makovsky up into midfield. Radetzky's going to go and play the Mazzala role. So it's just shuffling everyone forward a tiny little bit. Unfortunately, our right back, Mezgrani, is also out. He's suspended today. We don't really have a proper right back backup option. We have a Ligi who can play there, but he's left-footed. So he prefers to play as like a sort of inverted wing back or something. But seeing as we have an inverted winger here, we can't really allow him to do that. We need someone out here on the right-hand side. So he's just going to come in and do a job for us today. We may change that if it's not going very well. Barat, the centre-half, can play out at right back. So we could always take Aligi out and bring one of the centre-halves off the bench. Do it that way. But we'll see how it goes in the first half. Adjust if we need to. Wish us luck. So there's our Honved team today. As discussed, let's see how Fehérvár are lining up. So they're playing a 4-2-3-1. Not a huge crowd in, but that's not really an enormous surprise, I suppose. We are playing in the National Stadium, which holds about 65,000 people. There's a few in behind the goal by the looks of it, so at least there'll be a bit of an atmosphere. Now, hopefully, we can do ourselves justice in this game. Obviously, Fehérvár have just gone and won the league, so they're a decent side. But in the 20 games that we did play this season in the league, Fehérvár were one of the teams that we beat. So we can go into this with some degree of confidence. You know, we're no mugs. We'll put in a decent performance, I'm sure. Anyway, fairly cagey start. After 20 minutes, just a couple of shots. Nothing of any consequence. We are bossing the possession. We seem to be very, very good at possession-based football at the moment. We've got almost 70% of it. But doing something productive with it seems to be the problem sometimes. Half an hour gone. Typical cup final fare. Pretty cagey stuff. Corner comes in. Headed clear, but Pogliano, our centre-half, picks up the ball. Aligi there is on a yellow card. That kind of makes me think we might want to make that change at right back that I was talking about, putting Barat out there. Makovsky also on a yellow. So we might have to think about asking him to ease off his tackling a little bit. Babati into Apple. Oh, what a finish! What a finish, we're 1 up. Now, he's not the paciest Apple, but he managed to get the march on his central defender there, didn't he? It was a really nice through ball. Babati here picks up the ball. It goes back to, I think it's Radetzky. Apple finishes that really, really tidily. So with 36 minutes on the clock, we are a goal up in the cup final, which is fabulous. Obviously, we did win some kind of weird trophy with Stirling Albion. We won the second division and the first division trophies, plus the cup that every country is invited to, with Northern Irish and Welsh teams in, whatever that was called. But this is the first sort of real serious cup final that we've been in, and it's going pretty well so far. So, second half, I think we're just going to send the team out maybe as it is, give it 10 minutes. Hopefully we're not going to see any horrible error from our right back. Like I say, 10 minutes into the second half, I'm probably going to make that change, I think. Makovsky on a yellow card is also struggling for condition a little bit, so that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. Aligi takes a very long throw. Pogliano gets up. Epel is there. Oh, he's offside. That's a shame. Pogliano did really well to win that header there. And let's have a little look. Yeah, he was off. Look, there's 3 of them in offside positions there. So, can't really complain too much about that one. But I'm going to go in and make those couple of changes I was talking about, and we'll be back in a moment. So we're back. We have made that change. Barat has gone out to right back, and we have brought Nikolic on at centre-half. We've also asked Makovsky to ease off his tackles a little bit, because he's on that yellow card, and I don't really want to go down to 10 men at this stage. Looks like an opportunity here for Fehavar. Oh, Pulsek with a free header. About 12 yards out, nods it over the bar. So we got to the hour mark. We're still in this 1-goal lead. Balanced formation. I think that's pretty much okay for now. We might think about making another change in a minute. I'm just looking at the guys' conditions. They're all seemingly doing okay. Ugrai's not having a great game, so he might need to be pulled out. But we will do that now. So Ugrai, you can come off, and Maya can come on. It's a very, very capable replacement. And so here we go. We got just over 10 minutes to go. Fehavar still not really offering an awful lot. I think we will now take our yellow-carded central midfielder Makovsky off. We have Bojan Sankovic on the bench who can come in. These are not a bad little option to bring off the bench. And we are going to do a little bit of tightening up here. We're going to take the overlaps off, drop the passing down, drop the tempo down, stick a little bit of time wasting on. And see if we can just see out these last few minutes. So here we are, we're approaching injury time now. 4 minutes of it. Here's a highlight coming though. Fehavar take a free kick. Susic to Huri. Tighty and loads of space there in the middle of the park. Jones, great save, Asvanyi. Goalkeeper of the year there. Pulling out a very, very big save in injury time. And so we've got just over a minute to see out here. Maya hoofs it forward. Fehavar coming again though. That's a good ball in. Thiel. Jones. Oh, goodness me. Jones. That was a really nice goal in fairness to them. But just made all those changes to try and see out the game. And obviously they've pushed on a little bit. I mean, that's a great finish. You can't really argue. But I don't even know if this goes to extra time or straight to penalties or what. It is extra time. Okay. So, we're going to have a few boys blowing out there. But, come on, it's time to dig in. Let's get everyone motivated a little bit out for the extra time period. I'm hoping that we can make 2 more changes in this period. We've got a lot of players struggling for fitness now. Babati is struggling, Radetsky is struggling, although I don't think we've got another central midfielder on the bench, so he might just have to suck it up and get on with it. Barat coming down the wing. It's probably best he doesn't try that too often, being a centre-half. It's not really a natural role for him. But that's a good ball into Babati. Is he given a penalty for that? It looks like he might have done. He has. Babati to step up. Go on, son. Tuck this one home. Yes, he does. Very confident finish. Sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Right into the bottom corner. That's a great penalty. And we have the advantage once again. Brilliant. So 5 minutes till the half-time in extra time. Looks like they've got some players struggling for fitness too, which is good. And so here we are, the half-time appears. There's no option to speak to the players or whatever at this point, so we just go straight back out for the second half. We will make a time-wasting substitution here, I think. Who can we take out? If it will let us take anyone out, of course. Maybe Babati? No, he's playing too well. I don't really want to take anyone out, but we'll take... Yeah, I'll take Radetsky out. Bring Banu Sabo into the midfield. He's not as good a player, but some fresh legs certainly won't hurt. Here he is on the ball now, finds Babati. Barat is overlapping on the right-hand side, which we just told him not to do. But will he get a crossover here? No, he gives it back to Babati, who hits it, and it's another one! An absolute rocket! And Rotskov in goal for Fehervar can do nothing to keep that out, in spite of his best efforts. Minarik just cleared it there to Barat. I thought he was just going to launch a hopeful cross in, but no, it finds Babati on the edge of the box. Left foot strike, and the keeper, well, oh, jelly wrists there, Rostkov. Can't tip it over the bar, and so it's 3-1. Just 5 minutes of extra time to go. It looks like we might just have a major trophy in the bag here, and denying Fehervar the double. And there it is. We have won it, 3-1. Trophy presentation. Excellent stuff. So you'll notice here, I'm currently in a black suit and black tie. And like Superman, I have now changed into a red jacket and green trousers. Excellent work. And so there's Barat with the trophy in his hands. And there it is. The pyro, the confetti falling from a magical helicopter in the sky. The boys are very, very happy. The very small crowd in the stadium also delighted on our behalf, I'm sure. Brilliant. A major trophy in our first season with Honved. And here we are. We are at the end of season, and therefore our first end of season review with Budapest Honved. So let's see what it has to say. So, big sign in here, Cesare Pogliano. 75 grand is all we paid for him. Worth every penny of that. Asvani, again, a player that we brought in, 275 grand, got himself into the team of the year. Well, no, goalkeeper of the year, wasn't he? So, a bunch of other signings that were here before we turned up. But I think those two were definitely two of the biggest ones for us in that run-in. So, what has he got to say about the season results? Well, ultimately finished where many had expected them at the start of the season. Okay, I don't think anyone was predicting us to finish second, but that's good. We're delighted the team has won the Hungarian Cup. All very, very positive, as you'd expect. And the moments to remember, biggest win, our 5-0 win against Ferencváros. The match to remember, well, I would have said it was that, to be honest, but they're saying a 3-0 win at Diosgyőr. Fair enough. And the goal of the season from Aligi. Scored a free kick from the edge of the area. Financially, well, our success definitely helped the club's finances. Well, no real surprise there. Sponsorship revenue going down, though, and corporate hospitality going down. But broadcast revenue, competition prize money, and matchday revenue going up. And I would imagine we're going to see that dramatically increase next season, particularly if we can progress in Europe a little bit. So the lineup here is pretty much the team I've been putting out as much as I possibly can. In fact, it's exactly the team I would pick if I had everybody available. So that's good to see. What accolades have we got then? So I won the Manager of the Year. Fabulous. Babati was the Fans Player of the Season. Chanyi Young Player of the Season. No surprises there. Pogliano Signing of the Season. Goal of the Season we've already talked about. Epel, surprisingly, did really, really well in goals. I'm not sure if he's going to be so prominent next season. He's a player I probably will be looking to replace, to be honest. But for now, he's done a very, very good job for us. Highest average rating, Pogliano. Perfect. So what do we got here then? So history in the making. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season awards ceremony. Very, very happy with everything we've done. Can't argue with that. So that's that. The end of our first season at Budapest Honved. A very, very good one, and I'm really, really looking forward to next season. As you can see here on the manager profile page, that's added another half a star to my reputation, up to a 2.5 star manager now. So that's going to help as we go forward through the journey, man. Obviously, you need to grow that reputation to get the bigger clubs coming after you. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was great to finish the league season with a win, cement our second place in the league, and to win the cup as well. Silverware, perfect job. If you have enjoyed it, please drop a like on there for me. And of course, if you've got any comments about this episode, or the series as a whole, or what you think we're going to be able to do with Honved over the summer, please let me know below. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. There's a lot more miles to come in this Greeno tour, I'm sure. Come and hop on the Greenobus and follow it along. Right, it just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I will see you after the summer break back here at Budapest Honved. Bye for now.